everyone, I'm Bryton. So here's the question. Harry Potter Cauldron Cakes. What exactly are they? At the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, we see them as little chocolate cauldrons with like little chocolate handles, but in the book we're actually given a few hints on what cauldron cakes might actually be. So here's the facts that we know. The first fact that we know, Harry Potter bought a stack of cauldron cakes. So these cauldron cakes are things that can be layered on top of each other. So we need to keep that one in mind when we're making this recipe. Fact 2, cauldron cakes have been mass produced by Qizilbash Quality Confectionery since 1854. Now these were made in Pakistan. So this is where my question comes up. Are these Middle Eastern cakes? Therefore they're made in Pakistan, or are they English cakes and they just happen to be made in Pakistan? So there's my question. So I'm putting that question out to you guys, what you actually think these cakes are. I'm going to make a Middle Eastern inspired cake. Now my thought was, if you're making a cauldron cake, that these cakes must be made in a cauldron. So I'm thinking they need to have a curved base. I've got a cookie pan, and as you can see, they've got a curved bottom. So I'm going to use those as my base. So what these are date filled, and that's where I get the Middle Eastern flavors because I'm using all these spices. But essentially, they're like little filled cakes. So to make these, we're going to start by mixing the spices together. So you need to make one original batch of spices and then get some out of that. So it takes half a tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground allspice, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of ground anise, 1/4 teaspoon of ground fennel seed, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. It seems like a lot. Most of them you'll have in your cupboard. I only had to pick up the star anise, which I ground down, and the fennel seeds. For the date filling, it's that much of dates. It says it's about 150 to 160 grams. I think it's 3/4 of a pound. We're gonna mix that all together in a food processor. Now, if your pitted dates are cool or it's cool weather, take small batches and pop it into the microwave for 10 to 15 seconds. It's just gonna soften it up. Otherwise, your food processor is probably gonna freak out. Once you've processed your dates, take a teaspoon and a half of your mixed spices and mix it in by hand. And don't forget to pour in the half of a teaspoon of almond essence. Once that's mixed, set that aside. Now we're going to make our dough. To make this, you're going to need half a cup of white sugar, 2 cups of plain flour, 1/4 cup of water, and half a cup of butter. You'll pop all those ingredients into a mixer and just give that a really good mix. Now we can start rolling out the dough. Preheat your oven to 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Prep your cookie tray by spraying lightly canola oil cooking spray just so the little cakes don't stick. Dust your board with some flour and turn out your dough onto the board. Roll it out and cut out circular shapes. Press the dough in. Take a pinch of your date mix. Flatten it out into a bit of a circle and press in. Grab another circle of your dough and lay that on top. We want to press down into the middle just so it has the same shape as its base. And press the edges together. And then repeat. Pop them into the oven for about 20 minutes to bake. Once they're golden brown, take them out of the oven, let them cool, and you can finish them off with just a little dusting of icing sugar.